Oke, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, I'm Maharani as head of commit. We'll open our sharing session today. The Honorable Mrs. Unis Sagena as a lecturer of IR in Southeast Asia course. The Honorable Sister Lyching as our speaker today, as well as honorable friends who are taking today's class. Today, we will do the short sharing session about contemporary issues in Southeast Asia with case study environmental problem in Cambodia from the youth perspective. Before starting today's sharing session, let's pray according to their respective religions and beliefs. For those who are Muslims can read Al-Fatihah, and the others are according to their respective religions. Finish. Before enter the sharing session, let's hear a speech from Mrs. Unis Sagena. To Miss Unis, Mrs. Unis, time is yours.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me now? Yes. Can you hear my voice? Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Please be open, you guys.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello, everyone. Yes, hello, everyone. Good afternoon. I hope you are well. Before we carry on with these events, I would like to say welcome to the invited speakers today, Miss Ching. It's a her nice name, Ching. Eventually, even though she is still young and student degree of Cambodia University, but he has an ability to share information and knowledge about the topic. So today's topic is chosen by herself about environmental problem in Cambodia. And this topic is very important and interesting, and it's part of our subject in this course, which is contemporary issues in Southeast Asia. Therefore, I would like to say many thanks to Miss Ching. Thank you for joining us today, and also for Brother Rigo. Thank you for rejoining us today, Rigo. Also, I would like to express my regards and appreciation to all students' contribution that made this event successful. Thank you for Ocxynuel Panjaitan as moderator. Oxy, you always make me proud since the first time we met in our class. Honestly, yes. And thank you so much for the head committee, Maharani and team, Nita, Rusman, and Alisa, Akbar, Risti, and Amin Rais, and all the students as participants today from Class A. You always make me happy and proud with your efforts, your spirits, and your positive attitudes during this semester. Thank you very much, guys. For everything that you have done for these events and for being such great students. That's all from me. Enjoy the events. And now back to you, Master of Ceremony, Rani. Wabillahi taufiq wal hidayah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Ms. Unis. Next, the sharing session will be guided by Ocxynuel Panjaitan. To Ocxynuel, time is yours.
Yeah. Thank you, Maharani, as our MC today, and thank you to Ibu Unis as our lecturer in International Relation in Southeast Asia course. Yeah. Today, I'm here as a moderator in this sharing session until the Q&A session. And today, our topic discussions is about contemporary issues in Southeast Asia, case study environmental problem in Cambodia from the youth perspective. Yeah, before I introduce our speaker today, I want to give some my opinion or my first impression about our topic today, but in general, not the specific. So when I read our topic, the contemporary issues in Southeast Asia, case study and environmental problem in Cambodia from the youth perspective. Yeah. Why? Because when I said the youth perspective is a different voice, because it's very interesting for me. In my first impression, when I read this our topic, me as a part of youth generation, I see that youth is just a following a trend, in that is happening on social media. I see that youth are just for the why I said like that, because for the example, when there is an issue of environmental problem, like we can say it's a climate change that is happening and being discussed on social media, and then youth will carry out a campaign by sharing the issue on their social media. But for me, it's not as like a high concern from youth to care about the environmental problem. Why I said like that, because I see, like I said before, I see youth is just following a trend. As we know that trending topic is have a pace that is not trending again. So when the youth uh, care about the environment problem, is just like a trend. But for me, I still believe there are also many young people who are involved in real action on their concern for the environmental issue. Like youth, like can take a part in non-government organization like Greenpeace, or international government organization like United Nations Environmental Program. But that that I still believe there is a youth people have their own way for caring for the environmental. So it's my first impression when I read our topic today. And then I will introduce our speaker today, Lyching. But I'm sorry if I said or calling your name incorrectly, because I didn't know how. The our speaker today name is Lyching, but you can call me. Sorry. But you can her as Aching. She is from Cambodia, born in Phnom Penh, 3rd September 2001. She is same with us. She is an international relations student, but a different university. Yeah. She is from the University of Cambodia. And for your information, next week is the 3rd year of Aching study at the University of Cambodia. So for Aching, I hope you can pass your third year at your study with successful. And then for Aching, the presentation today is yours.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Can you hear me clearly?
Yeah, I can hear you.
So should I share my slide right now?
What?
I mean, should I share my slide presentation right now?
She wants to share slide presentation. Make her as co-host.
It's done, Miss.
So first of all, I would like to say good afternoon to everybody. My name is Lyching, and I am an international relations student from the University of Cambodia, and I'm going to become the third year student in the next week. So for today's sharing topic, I would like to introduce about environmental programs in Cambodia because I am a Cambodian. So I would take the case from my country. Actually, there's a lot of problems from Cambodia, not much different from any other country, I guess, like violence, like gender inequalities, and many other small problems in Cambodia. But for today's topic, I would raise about environmental because I think environmental is really important for everybody. And as you can see right now that the coronavirus comes and we have to change everything. Isn't it also a part of environmental effect to all of us? That is why I would like to raise the environmental problem to discuss or share with all of you about currently issues in my country. So my content today, I'm going to tell you what is environmental. I mean just a short detail or definition about it, like we all know it, right? And the next point, I will brief a little bit about Cambodia background. The third one is about the environmental problem in Cambodia. So environmental, what would come to your mind when I mention about environmental? So you might imagine about a green city, a country that's full of trees, aren't you? But I will define the word environmental in a simple or short meaning as everything that's surrounding us. So could you take a few seconds to look around yourself? Are you in a comfortable and clean place right now? Any trash around you, or is there any uncomfortable air to you right now in the space that you are sitting right now? Slide, I would give a short brief about my country background. The Cambodia is a country which located in Southeast Asia, which cover a total area of 81 and 035 kilometers square. It's bordered with Thailand, Laos, Vietnam, and the Gulf of the Thailand. In Cambodia, we have two seasons, dry season and rainy season. And if planning to visit Cambodia, Angkor Wat Temple is the best place that you could not miss to visit in Cambodia. Cambodia also well known with the Angkor Wat Temple. So now I think it's time to dip into our topic that I want to discuss or share with all of you, which is about the environmental problem in my country. So today I will in my country. So the first one is about water pollution. The second one is air pollution, and the third one is noise pollution. So But the water pollution in my country, the big issue is about trash. In Cambodia, the population, I can say not only in the rural area that people are like about the globalization or environmental issues or stay in healthy or I mean the way to manage their trash, but also the urban people who live in the like modern area, but also their trash. They just threw their trash everywhere as they wish to. They don't decide which kind of trash should they put and where should they keep it all. They just threw it everywhere, and what was than this? They just threw it into the water that we like water. We really need water, right? So what happened when they threw the trash into the water? We could not use the clean water at all. And it's really unhealthy when we use the water that they threw the trash into it. And the other point is about sand extraction. This has been happened since last 10 years ago when I was in the rural area. I often see that a big ship in front of behind my house because behind of my house there's a Maple River, the longest rivers in Cambodia. And usually I always see the big ship in behind my house on the river, and they just extract doing the extraction of the sand. And what happens when they do the sand extraction? It will change the rivers or the water, the size of the rivers, and also destroys the habitat of the aquatic animals and microbes of the nations. This is what I heard from my father that last 20 years or 25 years ago when I wasn't born yet. Yep. He said that there's a lot of fish in Cambodia, many kinds of fish, and that time we can have a healthy lifestyle and a healthy food. People really get sick or go to the hospitals. But look at nowadays, we don't have fish to provide to our population at all, and we feed the fish that we give the chemical food for the fish. And what about us? We eat the fish, right? And fish is chemical food. So just like we eat the chemical food as well. So it's really bad to our waters, and this is the way that
I think. Sorry, if I interrupt you. Sorry, for I interrupt you. The participant want to share your screen with a slideshow, like a full screen.
okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry before. Thank you.
Please wait a little bit.
Sorry, I think. Do you need something help?
Not really. Can you see
Oh.
it in the full screen right now?
What? Sorry.
Can you see it in the full screen right now?
It's still same like before.
Really?
Yeah.
So what can I do with this? So what should I do with this?
Maybe it's I didn't know. Oh yeah, I think if you can get a full screen on your PowerPoint, it's okay. Yeah, just like this, it's okay.
Is it okay right now?
Yeah, if you can share your screen with full screen, it's okay, just like this.
Okay, then I will
Okay.
continue. So my second point I would like to talk about is air pollution in Cambodia. This is also the thing that uh, currently happens in Cambodia. That this is from a research that according to the World Health Organization guideline, the air quality in Cambodia considered moderately unsafe. Like if you visit in Cambodia, in our cities, there's a lot of transportation, and every day when I uh, go somewhere, like when there's no COVID-19 that's come that I have to travel to my school or anywhere else, it is really annoying that there's a lot of unclean air and I couldn't breathe freshly because there's a lot of transportation. Also, there's a lot of uh, industrialization and factory that uh, create or produce a lot of uncomfortable airs and it's spread around and everywhere in our cities. The other points I would like to raise about is the noise pollution. Not only that it would pollute to the air from a lot of transportation in Cambodia, but it also gives us with the noise pollution. That's in the urban area that a lot of transportation that that people drive every day and most of the times and most people don't like the sounds of the transportation and it's really affects to their health problems or their uh, feeling. And look at the rural area. I don't know that this also happen in your countries or not, but currently in my country, that people just track their house as their personal karaoke. Not only their free time, but most of the time they just put on their speakers and put the song and just sing and makes the noise that would annoy other people or the neighborhood that's surrounding them. Like right now, because of the coronavirus, everyone need to stay at home, right? Even our study system that we need to stay at home and study online, but they don't care about this. And I can say a little bit selfish of themselves. They only think about themselves. They would just uh, take their music on from the morning to the night times. And what it affects to us, the students, we could not listen to our teachers or our professor explain or show us about the lesson at all. And what happened to the older people? They just need a quiet place for them to stay. But the sounds of the music or rock and roll that they just put up, it really cost them uncomfortable feeling, and the stress level can mobilize because of the noise pollution of as well. So I think it comes to the end of my presentation that I would like to say all of you today. And yes, I don't know that in your countries would also have the same problem with mine or not, but this is the current issues that happen in my country. I know that when I talk about the environmental problem, you might think about the climate change or anything else, right? But I think it is something that we all know about and have discussed since I was in my secondary school, something like that. So I don't want to pick up about the climate change or something like that because I think we all know about it. But what I share with you right now today is the current problems that happen in my countries. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for Achin such a great information for us. So today, right now, we will in a Q&A session, but before that, I want to read to inform you a few rules about our discussion. Yeah. First, this discussion session will divide into two or three sessions. It's depending on the remaining time, and each session consists of three questions. The second, if the participant want to asking some question to Achin, uh, you can click your raise hand feature and open your mic and open your camera. But if you have trouble connection, you can send your question in chat box. But I suggest you guys to raise hand and open your mic and open your camera. Why? Because I want to encourage you to dare to speak in English and improve your speaking. Before for Achin, can I get your permission to speak in Bahasa to translating what I said before to our participant?
Excuse me, would you mind to repeat it again? Because right now it's raining.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Can I get your permission to speak in Bahasa to translating what I said before to our participants?
Yes, it's okay. Go ahead.
Oke, thank you. Jadi buat teman-teman, saya sebagai moderator menyarankan teman-teman buat dalam diskusi kali ini sebisa mungkin untuk berani berbicara dalam bahasa Inggris dalam menyampaikan pertanyaan-pertanyaan kalian. Jangan takut salah, jangan takut kalau berbelit-belit, it's okay. Tapi intinya yang aku mau bilang, kesalahan terbesar itu bukan kita salah ngomong atau segala macam, it's a part of our lesson. Tapi ketika kita mengakui diri kita udah salah tanpa melakukannya, tanpa mencobanya, itu adalah sebuah kesalahan. Jadi buat teman-teman yang ingin bertanya, saya sebagai moderator menyarankan just open your mic, okay? Just be brave, just be yourself, okay? So before I give a participant to giving the question, I want to asking to Achin about how about youth, Cambodian youth, giving a response about this environmental problem like water pollution, air pollution, noise pollution to the Cambodian government.
Actually, our government also take part in this, but you know that Cambodia has like a lot of histories and we have experienced a lot of war and we just get our independence not long ago, and our policies in Cambodia is not really like the policy is really nice, but the practice is not really followed to the policy that have said. We have the law, the draft law about all of these issues, and what we need the cooperation both from our government and our citizens to deal with these issues together. So yes, we are also a part that should take an action to bring a better lifestyle and to deal with all of these problems in our country.
Okay. Thank you, Achin, for your information. But can you turn on your camera, please? If you doesn't have any trouble. Thank right now we're getting to a Q&A session. So for the participant who to asking some question, just raise your hand. Yeah, Putri Febrianti.
So my name is Putri. So I want to ask about noise pollution, but the context is before COVID-19 happened, which is people are not stay at home. And sorry, before, can you hear me clearly?
Of course, because right now it's raining right now. That's why, yeah, it's mine. It's mine.
Okay, I'm gonna repeat my question.
Yeah.
So I want to ask about noise pollution in Cambodia, but the context is before COVID-19 happened, which is people are not stay at home, and at before COVID-19 happened, there are a lot of people that traveling or mobilizing with vehicle, which is vehicle could make a noise pollution. So I want to ask, is there any effort by the Cambodian government to solve that problem? That's it. Thank you.
Thank you. That's just what like I raised up. We also have the draft law about these issues, and sometimes we also report it to the our commune chef or the province chef. But what can we do with that? We just a simple like citizen. We don't have power at all. And what the other point that we think about is we don't want to have the arguments or unhappy with our neighborhood. So just keep it going on. And like all of those people, not only the old people, but the people like mostly in my age and they are in the rural areas and then get higher education. And I can say the other one, like I can call them as the gangster. So sometimes we couldn't do anything about that. And when we try to report it to the chef to take an action, but not really give the any result at all. Yes. Do I answer your question?
Yeah, Putri Febrianti, do you have some feedback to?
My place itself, if you could hear or maybe not, our place is also have really bad noise pollution because there's a lot of teenager like us that having you know that use a motorcycle, and it's just like really noisy, and also we could not do anything with that. So I just wondering if government could like policy or regulation to to solve the problem, because we really can't do anything with that. The noise pollution in here is really bad, and it's really hard for us as a student to concentrate to our class because of the noise pollution. So I guess our problem in Indonesia and Cambodia is quite similar.
Yes.
Yeah, for Achin, do you have any response or it's enough?
Sorry,
Yeah, for Achin, do you have another response or it's enough?
I don't think I have more.
Yeah, okay. Maybe for Kak Amin Rais, you can open your mic and asking your question.
Thank you so much for the time. I want to complain to look acting lighting. Can you hear my voice? Yeah. Uh, your it's as is a personal opinion. That's your first like my friends, my Chinese friends.
Really?
When she talk yes, when she talk about English, all right. But one more the big questions to me and to you all, that why we should care about environment. Then the business, you can take a look around us. We as a society only consume that the industrial or business product. So who is the most benefit in this in environment? I will say that it is business benefit. And how you respond in this? Can you hear my voice?
Not really. I don't have your point at all. Can you?
Okay, I repeat. And why youth should pay attention in environment problem. That we should yes, why youth should pay attention in environment problem. Then the industrial who produce more CO2 or pollution in river or in our water, uh, they should take it's not us, but the businesses should take the should take should take
Take the responsibility.
responsibility of it, not us as human, as a society, low society.
Okay, so you mean why you should pay attention only to the environmental but not the businessman, right? Is it your question?
Yes, please respond.
I think that if everybody should take care or should pay attention to it, not only use or us as the students, but a big company or industry or factory, they should also take a look and take an action. Anything to improve the environment as well, not only use. I think that because maybe we surrounding the youth and the student as the same of our age, that is why we only see one point that only youth that only pay attention about these issues. But in my opinion, I also think that they also care about it and usually discuss about it as well. Not only us, but government, business, and everybody might be used to raise about this problem or about these issues as well.
Can I respond?
Yeah.
But in reality, the industrial is the more contribution in our pollutions, like in developed country, not in Cambodia. I also say that the developed countries should pay more attention in this, not in developing country. Maybe just
I think because we the people are a little bit selfish, and when it's come to the benefit, so I would mention about the development. If we talk about development, we might think a lot of meaning on the development. We maybe went to the countries when the GDP of the country is high, maybe we consider it as a development countries, or the countries that have the equal right between girls and boys as a developed country. So we have a lot of meaning that would define to the word development. So the same as this point that businessmen, government, and other people also talk about these issues, but it has to be measures which one is the most priority between money and environment. So I think maybe we have the answer, right? So yeah, this is what I could think of. So if anybody has something to say about this.
it's good. Chris.
Okay, for Kak Amin, there is any feedback?
Not all, but for me, I would like to say I still stand on my mind that first the industrial should pay more attention in that issue and will be followed by the society itself. But I don't think the other opinion, but this is my own opinion. Maybe that was a good answer for me. Thank you for Sister Luke. Sorry if I spell your 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 name wrong.
Okay, it's okay. I don't mind that.
Okay, thank you to Kak Amin, right? So we go to the next question is from Aulia Ariani. You can open your mic.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and also good afternoon, everyone. My name is Auriani Safitri, and today I would like to ask our speaker for today a question. Just like what she said, that Cambodia has several pollution, right? And also for information, we also have that kind of pollution here, especially for the water pollution. For information, I live in Samarinda. Samarinda has one of the largest river in the world. I don't know. And yet, it used to have this greenish color, and now it has like chocolate color, like this chocolate milk, I don't know. And due to that pollution, what do you think is the best policy to decrease in order to decrease that pollution? And also, do you think that our future generation will be able to breathe the fresh air or the fresh water like we do right now? Because my dad used to told me that this river used to be so clean, but now look at your generation, they can see a clear water like what I saw when I was a kid. So yeah, I think, do you think that is it possible for our children, our future children, to breathe and see the clear water like we do right now? Thank you.
Nothing is impossible in my opinion. If we really want to do it, I think nothing is impossible, but it may be like a long time and a long effort to do it. And for my opinion on this, what is the best policy that would bring, like in the 20 years ago, the environment back to nowadays? I think it's a little bit hard for this, but what I can share with you is that the government should take an action on this, put a clear policies and would practice to the policy that implement on the paper, not only to say but also take an action on that. And for us as the citizens, as the students, should also take a part in this. And also one more policy is about dividing trash into its categories. It's not from all of us too. Take a look to Japan, why Japan is considered as one of the cleanest countries, while Japan is also in our Asia continent. It's not really far from us, right? So we can take Japan as our role models and try to follow its policy, like divide our trash to its categories and put it in the nice place when the trash cleaner comes, so it's easy for them to collect what kind of trash that can be recycled and what kind of trash they can put it into, and then make it to the something that we can put on our tree to grow faster, or the other kind of trash, put it in the nice place. So I think this is also one of the best ways if we can do all of this. So not much, but maybe a little part that can bring all of this about, like, to make our water better. Yes, that's my opinion.
Yeah, for Aulia, what do you think about the Aching opinion about your question?
I do have the same feeling with Aching. Like we do have a little hope for the future to breathe the same and the same fresh air like we do right now. And I do hope actually for our children to so they can bathe a clear water like we do right now. Because if they can't, then what kind of water they used to bathe with? So let's just hope for the best. And I do um I do understand what Aching meant, and I do agree with her. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Aulia. So it's our first session in our discussion. I want to say thank you to Putri Febrianti, Kak Amin Rais, and Aulia Ariani. Thank you for your question in our first session. So right now we getting into the second session. So it's still same from the first session. It consists of 3 questions. So just raise your hand and open your mic and open your camera and giving your question. So this Nita Ayu who has a raised hand. So for Nita Ayu, you can open your mic and asking your questions.
Okay, thank you, Ocxynuel. First of all, so glad to have you here, Aching, for today sharing session. So I have a interest in about environmental issues in Southeast Asia, especially in your country, Cambodia. You also mentioned about Mekong River, right? In your presentation. My question is, there's several countries who connect to this river, right? In Mekong River, there is Laos, Thailand, Myanmar, and another country in there. In these countries, I think there's competing to build dam water in Mekong River. And I think it's dangerous for the environmental in Mekong River because it will cause a sand extraction that you also said before, and it also dangerous for Mekong biodiversity. My question is, what about Cambodia? Are you guys is also building dammed water in your region to fuel the electric for the electric in your country? Maybe that's my question to Aching.
So what is it?
Water dam. Water dams. It's kind of yeah, dam water. You know, it's like you build electric power from the water, from the dam water. Do you understood?
Oh, all right, I get it. I think in my country also have a plan of doing this as well, but for right now situation is not really really, I mean, uh active on this about water dams. Yes, but I think in the future or maybe a few years next, maybe we also have this as well. But right now, maybe just a planning from our government. Does your country have this?
Yeah, we have a lot, but
Yeah.
in Mekong River, I think it's so dangerous to build so much water dam in there because the river is connected by a lot of countries and a lot of people live from the biodiversity in this Mekong River, the fishermen and another. And I have read a lot of research about the build of dam water in Mekong River, and it make me interested because Cambodia, I think Cambodia is one of the last country that Mekong River have passed before the Mekong and in South China Sea, and I think your country will be so very very destructive if you guys just stay still because your another country in this Mekong River like Laos is now really competing to build water dam in their region.
Oh, I see.
I think it's maybe a difficult question for Aching, right? Hello, Aching, can you hear my voice?
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, can you hear my voice? Hello, Aching.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah, maybe it's a difficult question for you.
I think because I don't really heard about it before.
For Nita Ayu, sorry, sorry, we can't answer that question you given to Aching. So sorry, okay.
Because I don't want to spread the wrong information. Yes, so I would honestly on that.
It's okay. Maybe you can research about that problem. And I was interesting about Mekong River, especially in environmental issues in that river. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you for Nita Ayu. So we go to the next question for our participant for Zaira Safa. You can open your mic to asking your question.
Yeah. Can you hear my voice?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah. I want to ask to Aching. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. I want to ask about. My name is Zahira. First, I want to ask about. It is said that the air quality in Cambodia considered unsafe. So, what is the people respond or act about it? Is the person there? Is the people there generally know that the air condition is unsafe? Is the people trying to use masks outside the house, or some people just like doesn't care about it? How about the government? Is it there any act that the government do to solve the problem? Thank you.
Thank you. I get your point about it. So with the air pollution in my countries, I would like to mention in our urban area. Yes, we also worried about it among the people who get to know about this problem. Yeah, some of us just know about it and don't really care, just let it be. Some people also do care about it. They wear masks when they go outside, not only because of the coronavirus, because of they knowing that the air outside is not really clean for them. And I also heard from one of my American teacher. He lived in Phnom Penh as well. So he mentioned that he would like to do some exercise in at the by walking or running on the street, but he would not do it because knowing that the air in the Phnom Penh is not really fresh or clean, so he just stay at home and do some exercise at home instead of going out. And for the government, I don't really heard anything about these issues or any solution on these issues that come from the government, or maybe no one report about that, or maybe they are planning but not real, not I mean not spread it out for the population. They just putting the new for the population to take care of some tips that could prevent from getting smites of those unclean air, like stay at home if we don't really need to go out or wear the mask or putting some clothes that could prevent us from the unclean air outside. So this is what I only learned. Not really. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, for Jera Safa, but we have some like a response for the statement from Achin.
No, I think it's enough. It's include of all my questions. So I'm really thank you for you to answer this question.
Thank you for Zaira Safa. So we will go to next question from the participant. So Alisa Liliana. Yeah.
Thank you, Noel. First of all, welcome to Aching for in our class. There's something that I want to ask and clarified. I've read a news in BBC about there are 3 activists, environmental activists in Cambodia. They're under Mother Nature group, and they were charged for. They were document waste in Tonle Sap River in Phnom Penh in Cambodia, and but they were instead charged with insulting the king. And the three environmentalism is face sentence of between 5 and 10 years in prison. First, I just want to clarify with you: is it true that if the environmental activists in Cambodia get a charge from the police and under the law of Cambodia? That is my first question. And the second question is, what happened with the activists in Cambodia right now? And then the third is the government system in Cambodia is one of maybe the obstacle and the threat for the environmental activists to give their voice for the environmental problem in Cambodia? That's my question. Thank you.
Thank you for your question about this. Yes, actually, as I mentioned, we do have a good policy, draft law about all of these issues. But you know what was about this, and the problem about this is that we good at playing, but not in practicing. So this is the problem that keep the problem again and again and again. Just repeat the problem and cannot solve it when we have a night we have a draft law or the punishment about all of this, but it's just playing but not really in practicing. So yes. And what the with the second question, can you clarify it a little bit? I
The second question is, I just wanted to know what happened with the district activists. Is there end in the prison, or they're get free from the police, or I don't know.
yes, as I explained, like it's just like even though we do that, but not really pay a full as the law said because it would cost the population a lot. So they just maybe give some money, but not in the illegal way because yes, this is what we do in Cambodia. Sorry.
Yeah. For Alisa, do you have some any response to Achin?
I just want curious one thing again. So in this issue, is the government? I mean, who is the victim? Is the activism or the government? What do you think about it? Because, in my opinion, it's their right, the activists' right to document the one of the evil evil activity that litter in a river. So, but I want to know, what do you think about it?
Maybe Achin can give some just like the opinion about the the activism, yeah, Delisa, Alisa.
Yeah, activists.
Yeah, maybe just by your opinion about the activism. Yeah, maybe for Alisa, maybe it's like a new information from us, for Aching. So but thanks to asking, maybe it will be some like another information uh, to get to know more about the activism. So thank you for Alisa to asking that question. Okay. The second session is over. And thank you to Nitayu, Zaira Safa, and Alisa Deliana. So today we're getting in third sessions, and same like before, it consists of 3 questions. So there is I see in my screen is Kak Amin Rais. So Kak Amin Rais, you can asking your question again.
Thank you for the second opportunity, Jane. Okay. I would like to ask. This is personal. This is not that fancy questions. Just what do you think about? Do you believe that mafia in your country or Cambodia just kind of lobby your leaders to not care about the environment problem? Do you believe that?
Not at all. I don't think so. Like our government and everybody also cares about it, but we have to like measure which one comes first. So like right now, Cambodia is a developing country, so we not really think that environmental is the first priority. So it's just in the second or third, something like this. That is why I don't really see any much uh, action or effort into the environmental problems in Cambodia. In the future, I think maybe they would care more about the environmental in the country.
All right. And so you positive with your government, right? That is good.
Yeah, but I think the government must be obey to his people, not to mafia. Commentaries.
Good.
Yeah. So thank you to Kak Amirais for the question. So to Maharani, you can asking about your question.
Okay. I have a question for Aching. My question is there any progress in the government's effort to deal with environmental pollution? If things don't go well, who is the blame in this case? The Cambodian people or the government? Because in our country, we have many programs and have many rules, but programs is very slow because the government is lacking in implementation. What about your progress in your government?
Actually, like I mentioned ago, that it half from the government as well as the citizens in the countries. With the progress, I would say the same, that we do have the policy, but our action or the processing of doing the policies or the law that we draft not really effective or active at all. That is the problem that both government and citizen could uh, get the blame on, because like government try to obey the law, but citizens always have the excuse about that. Like I would like to raise an easy example or normal example for you. In Cambodia, we have a law that if people who drive on the motorbike without helmet, we could punish it, or someone who don't obey the traffic law would punish in this amount of money. But when it comes to reality, we the people always have the excuse about this, about that. So we just give, I can say, tease money to the police. So and then we didn't really follow to the law. That is also the blame could be blame to us as the citizen that didn't really take an effort to implement the laws in a right way as well. And as you know that government or police or someone who also take part in this, they also think about their benefits. So what about money and people? Don't you collect the money or get the money? So of course you will say yes. And police and anyone that take action on this, we also have humanities and we emphasize each other. So yes, it is the way that we not really make a big progress on the policy that our government set for us. And I think it should be blamed both citizen and government. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Achin, for the information. So to Maharani, do you have another opinion?
It is complete. Thank you, Aching.
Ah,
By
thank
the way,
you.
so cute.
Yeah. Thank you, Maharani, for the question. So in my screen, there is a Helma. So Helma, you can give in your question.
Okay, thank you. Can you hear my voice?
We can hear you.
Okay, so my question is, I believe that efforts to improve the environment are not only the obligation of the government, but also need to be supported by the local community. Are there any efforts made by the community in your own area? If there is, maybe it can be an inspiration for us in Indonesia who have the same problems. Thank you.
Yeah, to Helma, can you repeat about your question?
Okay.
Because sorry, I can't to hear clearly.
Okay. You can hear my voice right now? Hello?
Yes, yes, I can.
Okay. I believe that efforts to improve the environment are not only the obligation of the government, but also need to be supported by the local community. Are there any efforts made by the community in your own area in Cambodia? If there is, maybe it can be an inspiration for us in Indonesia who have the same problem. Thank you.
Thank you. For the question, I would say no, not at all. In my country, in my area, in my my province, not at all. So I don't really know that have an idea on this because no one will take an action on that. You know, like I mean, we have the policy that said, and we couldn't practice it well. What about someone who follow those powerful people? So they just don't care at all about these problems. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Achin. But I want to add something question to maybe it's related or not with the Helma question. But I want to asking about the uh, non-government organization. It's like a Greenpeace. Is there is a youth Cambodian take a part in the non-government organization that concern in environmental?
we do have that. Like in the last few years, I also see that our youth take an action on cleaning our cities. They put the plans and form the group together to go to the place that they think it's really unclean and need to take an action on it. So yeah, I do see some activities from the youth in my country as well, but not really do it every day because I know that they work as the volunteer, so it's not really practice it every day, just once a year. But I can see from the effort of doing that, yes, it actually cleans some place that those people will take the ideas and take the hand with them, cooperate with them. So yes, I also appreciate to their work as the hub in my country.
Oh yeah. Okay. Thank you for Achin and thank you to Helma. So there is our third session for our Q&A Q&A and thank you to Kamin and thank you to Maharani and Helma. We have still a time, but maybe all of you still have any question. Just you can send it at the chat box or you can raise your hand. Okay. for Achin, I want to say, I want to asking another question about the United Nations. There is a United Nation program about the to solve the environmental in Cambodia.
No, I don't really heard about that, but we do have sustainable development and environmental problems, also ones that include inside that, but not really, as I mentioned, not really see the results from all of these plans. We have plans, but the results don't really show us right now. So, yeah.
I see, I see. Yeah, maybe to all the participant. Oh yeah, Nitayu. Yeah, Nitayu, you can asking your question again.
Okay, I want to ask to Aching about you maybe interested with environmental issues in Cambodia, right? Do you have an experience in participating in environmental activist movement in Cambodia? Maybe if you ever or you never, maybe you can tell us about your experience.
I do in my high school life. That time where schools and outside that surrounding our school together to get a better environment. I remember it maybe on the environmental days or what. I don't really remember it. And I also take part to grow some tree together in my school as well. Yeah. And later on, when I come to the college, I also plan to do small volunteer work and social activity. But you know, COVID-19 just come up and the plan just planned and could not take an action at all. That's really sad on that. What about you? Would you mind sharing us your experience?
Okay, maybe I don't have a lot of experience, but I think every student in Indonesia and every school in Indonesia, we have a Adiwiyata program, which is the program that we plant a lot of trees in our country. And I think that's the governance and the school's way to participate in environmental health in our country, just that. But in Indonesia, it also a lot of activism, and environmental activism like Greenpeace, WWF, there's a lot of activism, but in Kalimantan Timur, I think, I don't know, maybe a lot of another activist community, but till right now, I didn't get joined. I not join them yet. Maybe in someday I will join to join the group maybe.
I see.
Oh yeah, Maharani. Yeah, you can open your mic.
Okay, I have a simple question for Aching. Why are you interested in taking environmental issues? Why don't you focus on other problems? Is it because the problem is really important in Cambodia?
Actually, this is the topic that I didn't raise or discuss long time ago. That's why I want to pick it up and talk to all of you, and as well as some of the current problems that it really uncomfortable to the environment and something surrounding me in Cambodia that happened. So I just want to share with all of you whether you have the same experience as me, any problem that quite similar to me. And yes, and as well as because right now the coronavirus bombed up, and I think that environmental is really important because of the we quite careless with the environment. That's why a lot of disease and the strength, I can say strength, illness or virus would come to our countries at any time because we didn't have a clean environment, take a good pay attention or something with our environment, and as well as like most people when they go have the sickness and go to the hospitals, most of their issues also relate with the environmental. So I think environmental is quite important and we should have a discussion and take an action on it as well. Yeah, that's why I pick up about the environmental issues and share with all of you right now. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I think so because its issues really interest because it's all about human, uh, environmental, and government. Yes, I think so. Your opinion, I think. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you too, Maharani. Yeah, to Kak Amrais, we have another question.
I think I have.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's okay to ask him again.
when you no in your slide that you mentioned before, when you are studying, still noisy, right? Thank you.
Sure. Sure.
How bad that noisy for you? That's how will your university respond of it? Maybe they can socialize to people or just make banner or poster to promote this is noisy and you should write slowly maybe or anything else.
Not at all. Not at all. Like like when I am in the university, it's not really a big problem about the noise pollution. But when I go to my hometown, stay with my parents, it's really a noise. And you know that in the case that we don't really take any action because in the rural area of my hometown, there is not much students or not much people that continue their studies. At my age, mostly they just have their own job, so they don't really care about studies and getting education. So what can I do with that? We have like a little voice on that, and that is what their I can say their habit and their everyday activity. So no one would complain about it. They just complain to someone they could, but not the person who make the I mean the course rule. They never complain in front of the course rules, but only the normal people that also affect and feel bad about that issue. So not not really solution on this. Yes. And my solution to solve this when there's so much noise that I couldn't hear my teacher, so I just find some other place that more comfortable for like in my room. But when I'm in my room, it's a little bit low with the internet connection. That is, it's really difficult for me. Yes, during this time of new system of learning. Yes, but at least I reach it.
All right. Do you live in rural area or small city or small hometown?
I can say in my hometown, we have a lot of people there because it also the place that people travel back and forth because we have like, what can I call it? The place that people need to cross the river from my province to the other province, and my house just nearby, so I can say it's a little bit, I mean, crowded. Yes.
I see. But it means you are not live in rural or area, right?
Yeah, right now because I have to do my 6 month internship at my college, so I come to the Phnom Penh city, and yeah, it is.
Yes. I just want to share my experience that live in rural area, and it is West Nusa Tenggara Barat. It's located in Bima, but it's very that not educated people. No one aware about education. So I think that the most important thing that why the environmental problem is increased day and today, because no one just came out, no one get education role. And in my village, yeah, you know, uneducated people, when you suggest your when you suggest them or advise them, no one care about your opinion. And they will say to you who you are and why you should advise me. And that's, I think that's our whole problem in all the world, including in Indonesia. And that's the difficult thing that government should, or yeah, they contribute a lot of money maybe to promote and do, I mean, not only promote with socialization, but they should give what make them, for example, when they want trust, when they want, they throw their trust, and the government should provide like recycling or anything that reduce the trust issue. Trust is it environmental? Maybe that's it from me. Okay.
I see.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
No,
Thank
my
you, Teka.
friend.
Yeah. I think you can continue. Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
just like
I'm sorry. Yeah. You can. Yeah. You first. Before, or do you want to say anything else?
not really. I mean, that's all from me.
I see. Sorry. Yeah. For Achin, in Samarinda, as the capital city of the East Borneo, I can say there is illegal minings is one of the cases of the natural destruction. So there is illegal mining too, like the Indonesia.
What is it?
Illegal mine, illegal mining. It seems like the uh, illegal mining. It seems like that you do exploitation nature source with the illegal. Seems like that. So it's push the natural destruction.
I
Nah, yeah.
think yes, it's a lot in Cambodia, and I usually heard the complaint from the people about this as well, and we don't really have anything to deal with it because I can say honestly and in a bad way that it also our government gave a hand in this kind of thing. So we the normal people could not do anything on this. And yes, it do have in Cambodia.
Maybe it's another jobs for our government to take illegal mining. So for the other participant, if you have any question, yeah, you can asking via chat box or open your mic. Okay. Maybe there is no question again. And thank you to Ching. But before that, you can maybe you can teach us about the some words from the Cambodian language.
What
Yeah.
kind of want to know?
Maybe like how to say good morning or good night.
Okay. So
Yeah, in Cambodian.
good morning. It is around Tuesday.
What? You, you can maybe you can write it in text chat box.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you pronounce?
Around Thursday. Yeah, it's a difficult word.
Yeah.
And then what about how to say thank you in Cambodian? Or
Yeah, it is awesome.
it's a simple words, but morning it's difficult. Around Thursday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's
guys.
yeah.
Not really
But in Indonesia, it's how to say good morning. It's selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi. Yeah, maybe I will write it in. Yeah. It's yeah. It's in English. It's a good morning. Yeah, but in Cambodian it's ahron sur. Yeah, it's difficult for me. And then in bahasa Indonesian language, how to say thank you? Maybe it's not. Maybe you can guess what is how to say thank you in bahasa.
What is it?
Yeah. Okay. How to say thank you in bahasa is terima kasih.
Terima kasih.
Yeah. So thank you for Aching for your time to get in our class. We hope you always full of healthy and yeah, keep just be yourself. Yeah. I'm sorry to Achin and all the participants if I have some words is not politely to speak. So I'm sorry for that, and thank you to Aching for your information about the environmental problem in Cambodia. So maybe it will be a new knowledge for us. So and thank you too to all the participants who has a passionate about the environmental issue. So thank you to all the participants who are asking the question. And maybe it's from me. hopefully we can meet in another time. So for Maharani, I give it this our sharing session to you.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you to our moderator and our speaker today. Hopefully we can get a lot of knowledge.
I also gained the knowledge from all of you too.
Maharani, sorry to interrupt you. I can last question to Lyching, maybe two. Yeah, I want to asking about your first impression about us, and then your closing statement about our meeting today.
My first impression?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't expect it that I would be a speaker. I honestly about that when we go and talking about it, I expect that I would listen to someone who's sharing it and maybe discussing each other. But unexpectedly, I'm the speaker and the only one speaker, and everybody just ask me questions. Yeah, but I think it's nice, and it's less than a week to prepare this topic. Yes, I have some problem with my slide preparation as well. As you can see, there's not really a complete one. Yeah, and also I have a midterm test in the evening also. That's why, yes, it's a little bit not ready with my slide, but at least I want to take some action during this COVID-19 because that always stay at home and didn't meet a lot of people like during this time. So I think it's a good opportunities or time that I could join with all of you, sharing my sharing what I know to all of you, and as well as getting something back of your what you experience in your country and share to me. Yes, really happy to join this event with all of you guys.
Yeah, we're so happy to meet you. Yeah, thank you, Achin, for your time. Yeah, Maharani.
Okay. Next, submission of certificates. The first certificate will be awarded to Sister Lyching as our speaker today. Lisa, can you share screen?
Thank you.
Give me the co-house privilege.
Okay. It's done. Okay, next, submission of the second certificate will be given to Ocxynuel Panjaitan as our moderator today. Next event was the documentation session. Ditayu, time is yours.
Okay, it's time to get a picture, everyone. Please turn on your camera. Okay, I'll get a picture from slide 1. Slide 2. Okay, well done.
Okay, all right. That's the end of the documentation session. That means it's also our sharing session today. Thank you very much for our speaker today.
Can I give a last comment?
Okay.
You You didn't read my comment. Okay, I just would like to say congratulations for completing this sharing session. It was a nice presentation and informative session from Aching. Thank you so much, Aching. See you in the next event. And also, thank you so much for Oxy. You did a great job, Oxy. And Aching, I want to let you know that you are smart girl. You have a very cute face, cute voice, and cute expression. The way you express your thoughts. Thank you so much for joining us today, and for all students, thank you so much, and also for the committee, thank you so much for everything that you have done for this event. Okay, see you next event. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay.
Thank you, Rigo. Thank you.
Thank you very much for our speaker today, Sister Lyching, also our moderator, Ocxynuel Panjaitan, and thank you so much to our lecturer, Mrs. Unis Sagena. I'm Maharani. Thank you very much for your participation, and I'll see you the next sharing session. Stay safe, everyone, and goodbye. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you guys. Arkun.